Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Jenny and I'm going to share with you what I'm going to be planning to read in September in this video. So my reading has, I think, slowed down a little bit over the summer instead of increase. I really wanted to give myself a lot of space to read at whatever pace I felt I could handle. So that's still been 5 books for each of the months of summer. I would love to take it up a notch, but I just don't know what the month has in store. It can often be unpredictable, September. So I'm just gonna let you know what I've got here in front of me, and then we'll see what I end up reading for the month in my reading wrap-ups, which I make videos about every following month as well. Just a reminder that for my Patreon book club, we are reading Georgia O'Keeffe by Lisa Mintz Messenger. This is a general biography. We're heading into our final month in September and reading the last section. And yeah, we'd love to have anybody who's interested in reading some books with art themes join us over on Patreon if you are interested. All the details for that are linked down below. Okay, so I mostly focused on fiction this month. With only one nonfiction, not including the Georgia O'Keeffe, on the docket. I've been wanting to kind of increase my fiction as best I can. I do find it a little bit harder to read multiple fiction books at the same time though. So yeah, that's been slowing me down probably as well. My audiobook for the month of September is The Earth Spinner by Anuradha Roy. And it's interesting because there is also an author named Anuradha Roy. And so Anuradha was nominated for the Booker with one of her previous novels. So she is a different person from Anuradha Roy, which I had to clarify for myself. So The Earth Spinner is a dual story told about a clay potter in India and an Indian girl who goes to England to pursue her university studies, and she finds solace in a clay studio where she can work with her hands. And I think lots of things come up around, political leanings and fanaticism and East versus West type narratives, but we will see. I'm very excited to pursue this story. Okay, The Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Society by Mary Ann Shaffer and Annie Barrows. This is a book that I've heard about for years and years. It is an epistolary novel. And January 1946, writer Juliet Ashton receives a letter from a stranger, a founding member of the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Society, and so begins a remarkable tale of the island of Guernsey during the German occupation and of a society as extraordinary as its name. So Guernsey is one of the Channel Islands that lie between England and France. And I have actually been to Jersey, which is another of the Channel Islands. And this has also been made into a film. And I just thought it was finally time to read this. I wanted to read it before I watched the film. And I do like epistolary novels. So even though I do at times feel a little bit World War II'd out in terms of having read so much fiction in the last decade about World War II, I did want to get this one read. And so I'm going to do that this month. My fresh read for September, my fresh reads project, if you're not familiar with it, is me trying to read more new releases. So new releases count for me being 2025, 2024, or 2023, and hence them being called fresh. And I made a list at the beginning of the year with 7 books on it, and this was one of them, The Rules of Fortune by Danielle Prescod. And this is probably a bit more contemporary fiction than I usually read, but I'm interested in it. I was interested enough in it to write it onto the list. I'm not exactly sure why, having reread the synopsis, which is about a family on a Martha's Vineyard estate with a billionaire patriarch who dies, and then the daughter goes and starts investigating her father's kind of mysterious past and how he became a billionaire, and maybe there's a little bit of some nefarious things included in that. So hopefully I like this. I have no idea. That's kind of, I guess, one of the pursuits of a Fresh Reads project as well, is to kind of check out new authors, check out new releases. This book was released in, I don't know what month it was, but it is a 2025 release. So we shall see what I think of this one, and I will report back. The other fiction book that I am reading is Talk Before Sleep, a novel by Elizabeth Berg. So this is a very beat up old book that I got at a library sale. And this is a story centered on female friendship. So female friendship is an area that I'm very interested in reading about. This is a story of Ruth and what is the other woman's name? Anne. Ruth and Anne mainly, but some other female friends as well. Ruth is dying of cancer, and Anne is a nurse, and she has committed to being by her friend's side as she as she's enduring her last days. And so it is about those moments when they're together as she's dying, and it's also about how they became friends. So I'm really glad to find more books on this topic. I don't think it's a topic that is written about enough in our culture. Okay, so the last two books on this list, one of them is a poetry collection, Leavings by Wendell Berry. Wendell Berry is a very beloved American poet, especially beloved to people who love nature and kind of back to the land, farming life. And so I believe I may have had another poetry collection of his on my list and taken it out from the library a few years ago, but I don't have a vivid memory of reading it, and I don't think it's really stuck with me. So I'm hoping that I enjoy his poems, and this will be a test to see if I do. And finally, this is actually also a fresh read. This was on my fresh read list. This was published in 2024, and it's Rebel Girl, My Life as a Feminist Punk by Kathleen Hanna. Kathleen Hanna was the lead singer of a band called Bikini Kill. I believe that's what the band was called. Yes, Bikini Kill in the 90s. And she's a little bit older than me, but she did some amazing things for the riot girl, punk girl, girls kind of rocking out, girls claiming music territory that they were denied before, and demanding respect and an end to sexual harassment and things like that through her music. And so I'm very excited to read about her life a little bit more and get some more insight into, what made her pursue what she did, the stories behind her career. Because I lived and grew up in a really small town and kind of isolated from, city music scenes, I wasn't really able to see Bikini Kill or really get into the whole riot girl movement. It was a bit removed from me. I was also maybe slightly younger, and so didn't jump on the bandwagon the same way some other women a little bit older than me did. But I'm still very excited to read more about Kathleen Hanna. Okay, those are my books for September. I am marveling at the speed of this year, to be honest with you. I can't believe we are in our last month of the third quarter and going into the fourth quarter of the year. I'd love to hear how you feel your reading has gone over the summer and going into the fall, and if you have any big plans or pursuits that you'd like to accomplish in your reading over that time. And I will be back again soon with another video. Thank you so much for watching.